me see if I can get it quiet enough in here. I was thinking I want to do one on a vlog on chronic pain, and I've done a couple on addiction, chronic pain, and depression, and how they tie together. And quite a few people that follow me in the vlog and the music and stuff. I'm a cancer survivor also, and quite a few people that follow me have had physical issues and talked about them and stuff. And here you go. You see extreme close-up man smoking. And I wanted to talk a little bit about my, I think 16 years now of severe, unrelenting, 24-hour-a-day chronic pain. The whole getting propane thing has turned into like quest for fire. And I wanted to go outside and make a vlog. But if you're one of the people that tune in, I may talk about other things. I haven't really got anything planned, but this one will be a lot about chronic pain and sort of my struggle with same. And you know, the first thing I would say is when I have a disease called trigeminal neuralgia, and basically what it does is I have this distinct and real sensation that there's a red hot coal that powerful shoved up my sort of in my sinuses and teeth and down the back of my neck 24 hours a day. And you know, it's considered the most painful condition known to medical science, and I've dealt with this for 16 years now, and I've been through all kinds of phases and levels. The first thing I would say is, you know, when I first got it, I smoke a lot because of that too. It seems to help with the disorder. But I had a pain psychologist when Dr. Rosenberg at Cedars-Sinai, and you know, I know pain psychiatrist, so LA, but anyway, I wondered why in the first several years people were sort of moving away from me and stuff, wives and cars and houses and pizza man there and stuff like that, and this is something I knew. And even though I have a minor degree in I never used it professionally in psychology, experimental psychology. You know, it's something I was like, pain psychologist, how wussed out is that? But what he told me and what I already knew to be true, but he reiterated and I really learned, is don't talk about your pain with other people. And I don't on my vlog much. I could talk about it every day, every time, all the time. About every 7 to 10 times I'll talk about it some. I've never really gone into it. Nobody wants to hear about it. That's why I said, if you're watching this, just, you know, if you don't have any interest in tune out, I'll warn you up top. And there's a couple people over there. But anyway, the reason, you know, it's, first of all, there's a lot of stuff behind that. One thing is fear. I believe, you know, and it's a fact, people are kind of afraid when you're sick around them and they don't know what to do and they don't know how to help you. They get frustrated, they get annoyed with you, and then just daily life comes in, you know, and here you are, you can't do the things you used to do, and you know, it's the kind of thing where they get sick of you, and that's the only way to put it. I mean, if we really took care of our ill, and just, when I had cancer, I thought, well, I have cancer, that's sort of a free pass. Everybody's going to rally around you and support you and help you in any way possible. It just doesn't happen that way. And we're all eventually going to get old and sick, and if we're lucky, we won't have, there's dog lady, we won't have a long-term illness like I've had, but it, you know, it can linger. Eric's depressologue, you know. But so, you know, people get tired of you. So, I mean, somebody who watches my vlog and my music, follows me on here, said something the other day about posted somewhere that I should do this or that and the other, and I like the guy and I appreciate that, and it's not even anymore. It's something I completely understand. He sort of forgets with me rule number one is that I'm extremely ill. I'm nowhere near okay. That's one of the frustrating things is it seems like, well, when you have something people can't see, they think, and I used to think the same way, well, says he's got a bad back, and I would think, well, he's just lazy, he's worthless, he's a deadbeat, nothing wrong with him, he just don't want to work, Then when I started having chronic pain, and severe chronic pain, even as I'm speaking now, the only time I talk ever is on the vlog, and it hurts. But I used to believe that. So, people don't understand, and the people around you won't, and it drives them away from me to talk about it, So, as much as it sucks, to sort of bring that point home, my own mom, I made it, she's very well aware and clear on this disease I have and what it is, but she always asks me, are you better? Do you feel better? I'm like, no, Mom, I have a horrible disease that never gets any better. It's lifelong, and 9 out of 10 people eventually die from it by their own hand. Those are the statistics. 9 out of 10 people kill themselves. So no, I'm not feeling all cheery today. If for me, if I can get out of bed, there was a few year period where if I could get out of bed and get my boots on, that was an incredibly successful day. And you're talking about a guy who, used to run several companies and make, tremendous amounts of money and have a great life, that had to give all of that up. So, but the first thing, is for me, I don't know, it's the kind of thing where I learned not to talk about it. It drives people away. They don't want to hear about it. And if, like I was going to say, if life were just all wonderful and stuff, and we take care of our sick, the world wouldn't be packed with old folks' homes, We get sick of people around us who are sick. That's understandable. It doesn't even piss me off anymore. I've had three wives leave because I was not well. And one of them packed the house up, left me laying on the floor sick, pretty much helpless, and just disappeared, And I laid on that floor for about 6 months, really, not unable to get up. People, their ability to give a shit about you sort of plays out. Now, I can't blame them. But, for me, people are like, some people I live here. I live in this RV here. I finally saw when I was losing everything. My ability to take care of myself was greatly compromised. And when you have a disorder, as anybody with horrible pain knows, all I can focus on, and a lot of the times, is the pain. So that's diminished my ability to focus on other stuff a lot. At least, it's like now I'm doing music and videos, I focus 100% on that. I don't have time, nor do I really have the ability to focus on all the things I used to. So it's adjusted my focus, my life is dominated by this disorder, but like I said, this one guy who's seen my vlog quite a bit and music and stuff, knows me, said, well, I would do this and that, and I appreciate anybody who watches my vlog. It's awesome, because I live completely alone in kind of a world of silence. I don't take phone calls, I never go anywhere. Once a month, I'm alone, so it's cool to have people check in, and but it's easy to forget, like when somebody around you is ill, and there's just so many levels to it, but I could easily, here I lost the ability to take care of myself, and I'm sick, and everybody around me's sick of me, and I can't, and I'm still nowhere near well. I'm just, I've kind of set the situation up where I can cope better. And but I could have easily ended up on the street with a blanket and nothing else, unable to take care of myself. And we wouldn't have a homeless problem if people were, you know, it is what it is. So, I don't know, with the chronic pain thing, the drug thing, the meds, the opiates are pretty much the only thing that are going to work for you. And as far as severe chronic pain, you won't meet a harder core, tougher person who tried to tough that out for a decade. And, it's kind of the same story every time. I met a lot of people in pain clinics and doctors' offices who were also addicted and became friends, and watched them go through it too. And it's always the same song, same story. I have a friend, and he says to me, he's not nearly in as much pain or has the problems I have, but he has some pain issues, whatever. And he sort of alluded to the fact that, like, he was taking a bunch of narcotics, not passing them. I was still using them like 3 years ago, not passing them out freely either, kind of lording over a little box of narcotics, and I used to do that too. Anyway, I'd never seen anyone be able to handle it. My friend's take on it was, well, you just couldn't handle it. I've heard that so much. I've seen out of thousands of people in rehabs where I met other people and junkies in doctors' offices and life in general, out of thousands of people, you know how many have been able to handle it, myself included? Zero. So, the pain meds are kind of a thing of, it's a neat idea, but we're not at the point in medical technology yet where they can make some. If they had a non-addictive pill, wouldn't it be great? I bet it'd be the biggest selling pill in the world. Pain medicine like that, but they don't. And personally, I think that what I've found, first of all, being aware again is a real gift, being able to be aware again. But what I found is if you don't sort of stay in touch with your pain, not only your physical but your emotional pain, you're not really alive, and you're not growing, and you're just sort of a dead slug, a blight on society in a way. You're not contributing anything, even if you think you are. That's kind of the danger of those things. This guy over here is a OxyContin addict, has been for years, Mike, and I watch him go through these. I used to, now I don't even look at him anymore, but this whole thing of sort of, I don't waste my time talking to him because he's not there. He'll be talking to you, and then, oh yeah, we'll do this and that, and the way I do it, and then back asleep, and he's dope sick 1 week out of every month because he races through his meds. So anyway, everybody ends up in rehab or dead or sick all the time from that shit. So, but I think for me, where am I at time-wise? Not that I give a shit, as anybody who watches my vlog knows, but this pain disorder I've had has dominated my life in such a big, powerful, and horrible way that the worst part is nobody. One of the worst parts is, the thing I wanted to get to kind of was, nobody understands it, and nobody is going to understand it when you have this kind of thing, and that was the hardest thing for me to get. I thought at first, well, sure, they'll get it. No, nobody does. Nobody gets it, and it's almost as if for somebody like me who had so much and was such an overachiever to go to be somebody who was like, had pretty much nothing and is vulnerable to everybody. Like I say, and my most helpless, this is how, fucked up things can be. I mean, I had come to be around my mom and I figured, well, that's like a law or something. Your mom has to like help you out, or at least not financially, just moral support, and have a friend, somebody that you know, who knows that you're ill. But it's like, here I was, didn't have a dime to my name, nowhere to go, nothing to do, sick, couldn't take care of myself, and she got sick of me, and was just like, and her husband did too, and it was like the kind of humiliation you go through. It's like, one day she said, well, this, you staying with me just isn't working for me. And I'm like, fuck, Mom. I stay in the room, never come out, I avoid you at all costs, and your husband, you never see me. And it's like, I'm desperate here, I'm dying here, I need anything from any support from anybody, and it's not fucking working for you. It's okay, because that's the way it is. We wouldn't have old folks homes if we just all loved and cozied up to our sick relatives. So, what's been helpful, being away from people is helpful. That way I can set my own pace on everything, and I don't have to live up to other people's standards. And it's important for me to know my limits. And know what I can and can't do, and not beat myself up and feel this sense of fucking shame that people want you to feel. They seem to want you to feel ashamed when you're not well and you can't do the things. It's sort of I'm not sure what that's all about really, but and my own self-imposed shame, I've sort of been able to get around that by going, look, I didn't clean the fucking RV for a year. Just cleaned it some today. It's something that I'm just, if I can, like I say, if I can get out of bed and do anything, if I can get out of bed and get anything done, that's a huge day for me, and not punishing myself or shaming myself or feeling shitty about it. I've given myself permission. I'm always pushing and not slacking off, but it's like, look, I know what I'm capable of, what I can and can't do without pushing too hard. So, I don't know, I hope this might be of use to somebody, but there's just so much. My whole life has been dominated by this thing, and it's really, it's been really something. But yeah, it helps me to live completely alone, away from other people. That won't work for everybody. And I'd love to have a home, family, and all of that. It's not going to work, not going to happen. It's something I'd like and love to have, but that is not part of this disease package, that I've been able to, if people really knew, my people around me, I don't have anybody around me in the family that kind of know. I lost touch with them for 30 years, sort of on purpose, by the way. They look at kind of like the way I live now, like, what in the fuck is going on with this crazy bastard? What are you doing, What they don't know is what I'm doing is a huge triumph, just having this fucking RV to live in. I carved out a little place for me to live in the face of, unbelievable illness and hardship and addiction and depression and loss, and nobody knows how to cure you, and oh my God, just this horrible situation. It's an incredible triumph that I'm able to even survive at all, much less thrive to an extent in this thing. So, I wish I could be more focused, but it's a tough road to hoe, and we're all going to get there. A big mistake I made my whole life, I thought, well, I'm never going to be sick, and I'm never going to be old, it just isn't going to happen to me. That kind of arrogance and ego of youth, and it happens to everybody. And so that's, I just felt like doing one. I don't talk about the pain much because nobody wants to hear it, and nobody wants to, whatever, in real life, much less a vlog. And I'm not bitching about it. I'm trying to, kind of tell you how I've coped. But being away from other people has just been so key, because the constant shaming and the constant, like, why don't you do this and why don't you do that? It's like, their suggestions and shit. I just feel like, why don't you shut the fuck up and realize, like, you've lost touch with the rule number one, that I'm not well. And since it doesn't suit you, you want me to act the way you want me to act or do what you want me to do. I mean, there's a whole... It's hard not to become bitter and resentful, but, I'm not really. I understand. We can all only care about each other so much, just so much, and that's all we're supposed to, Then after that, we have to take care of ourselves. Holy shit, there's a bunch of emails. Okay. But anyway, I don't know, it's sort of, just, the thing that this fellow posted, who I like immensely, it's not something I resent or anything. It's something that just sort of made me go, oh, yeah, he's sort of lost track of, like, just how not well I am. And the odds are overwhelming. Where am I at time-wise? 21. Okay, that's plenty. But the odds are overwhelming that I'll never leave here alive. That's just the facts. I'm good with that. And I think it's easy to lose touch with the people around you, and we're only equipped to, like I said, care, and should only care about each other just so much, because there comes a point when you try to take care of and care about people too much around you, then you're sacrificing your own, so you're not meeting your own needs, kind of thing. So anyway, that is, I do an outro on my vlogs. Let's see which one. And the last one didn't seem like it would fit comedically either, but let's see. People, I can't come up with a pain metaphor. People. Oh, this is a bitchy one. Wait a minute. Pissed off rapper. Every rapper you see on YouTube. That's what I'll do. Pissed off rapper outro. Yo, peace out, motherfuckers.